All right. Yay, it's working. So we got a Yasuo, Camille, Katarina, and Zillion band so far. We've got one tooth on the team, so Katarina ban is expected. And then Zill on the other team, so Zillion ban also expected. I don't know if the other team has anyone who's really bad with remembering names and who people play, so there might be some one tricks on one team or the other that I don't know about. We'll have to see. Zoe band, she's still pretty strong. Did just get a small nerf, but if I remember correctly, reading the nerf, it did not seem like it was gonna do a whole lot to make her unviable, which is good. I don't want her to be unviable, but she definitely needed some fixes. Hopefully my sounds are okay. I had to redo all my streaming stuff. I also don't have a great way to look at chat during the game. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Excuse quiet stream for like 2 minutes. Alright, also the Annie band coming out in a first pick MF. That is fairly surprising to me. Not sure how good MF will be. Alright, looks like we got the Orianna and Kayn coming out. Kayn's still really strong. He hasn't been touched in quite a while, and his, I think the Assassin form is strong right now. I think the Bruiser is good. It's not bad. Because I think the Bruiser is better if you're going against tanks, and the Assassin is better if you've got a squishier team. We've got MF Riven so far, so if they don't pick a tanky jungler here, I would say that you definitely want to go the Assassin Kayn. Because Assassin Kayn just blows people up. And they're going to bring out the Lee Sin, so Lee Sin is pretty good into Kayn because if Kayn gets going early, like he really pops off, but Lee Sin's really strong early, so you might be able to hold him down, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, doesn't matter. I have to stay unbiased as a caster, of course. Just a thought process for each team, what their win conditions are. Rammus and Trundle coming out? Maybe Rammus and Garen? We'll have to see. Would be surprised if Rammus got picked here, though, because they do have Kayn already, who's a jungler. Might be a Rammus support. That would be interesting. So they pick up the Trundle. Interesting to see what he goes. He switches off to the Sona. Okay. That makes more sense. Just trying to fake him out with that pick there for a little bit. I love this part of the League client right now, that when you're spectating the draft, you can't see anyone's summoners. Looks like Flash Heal, Flash Might, Exhaust, I think, is right there, and Teleport for Trundle. Looks like we're getting a Xerath Tahm Kench, so I really like the Xerath because Xerath is really strong right now, and you do well versus someone like Orianna, who, even though her ball range is pretty good, she has a more mid-range than long-range type. Like, Xerath can definitely keep her at an arm's length, so it's harder for her to move her ball constantly on them. Where if you're shorter range against an Orianna, they can really abuse you with her ball movement. The Tahm Kench one, again, that I really like, if you pull MF out of a Sona ult or away from an Ashe Arrow or a Trundle pillar, like that could save MF in a lot of situations, especially as a non-mobile ADC. Ashe is going to have to play very carefully this game. She has to dodge poke from Xerath. She has to make sure she doesn't get all in by Lee Sin kicked into the other team, and all in from Riven could take her down. So Ashe is going to have to play very careful. And Sona, I mean, Trundle is not great for peeling. If well, he can put his pillar down in front of Ashe if he needs to. But is that Omerta I hear?
It is. I finally got my mic working.
What's up? Awesome, man. I'm glad. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello.
What do you think about the teams? I've kind of been yammering on myself about them.
Um, in particular, I think both teams have a very interesting comp, but you always have to watch out for Kane and Oriana because they can take over games at the blink of an eye, especially if Kane goes Shadow Assassin versus especially Squishy and Immobile, Misfortune, and Zareth.
Yeah, I really think this is a game that he'll want to go that Shadow Assassin because he could really be very annoying for them the entire game if he's just jumping in and one-shotting
Yeah,
constantly. And someone like Lee Sin, like he really it has a hard time dealing with Kane later into the game with Kane's damage and the ability to invulnerable by ulting inside of someone.
yeah. It's also very hard to get onto an Ashe with their arrow, so it's going to be hard for Lee Sin to do the Lee Sin play and the Riven to get onto the Ashe. Unfortunately for Trundle, there's not a whole lot of tanks he has to pick from for his ult, which kind of hurts a little bit. But
Hmm.
all in all, in a team fight, I think I like the Oriana Kane team better.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. They definitely have a better team fight comp. I think that if it's going to be scary if they get ahead because with a team fight comp that's ahead, they'll just keep rolling team fights. But
Hmm.
if the other team gets ahead, they're going to have to keep like looking for picks and stuff like that, which is very possible with like a Xerath chunking people out and Lee Sin and Riven being able to be very mobile and find people out in very different situations. So
Yeah, I think for the Kane team, I think it's if they get ahead, we got a very short game on our hands, and if the other team
mhm.
gets ahead, we're gonna have kind of a poke them down, siege kind of game.
Yeah. The one thing I see being a problem for the Riven and Lee Sin team is their engage in general, just because like Lee Sin and Riven engage are the two that they have, and those are
Hmm.
very volatile like engages. Like either they go really well or they go really wrong, because you're
Yeah.
putting yourself like most likely as a squishy champion, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. So you have to get that burst out, or you can very easily put yourself in a bad spot.
They also have some of the more difficult champions on that team, so we'll see if the Lee Sin and the Riven pay off versus the more of the like face roll ashes and
That's true.
um, the Canes, where you really just need by mid game, you all you really need to do is QW auto attack, and squishies are gone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Xerath in that category too, with having to hit his abilities on target. If he's missing abilities in fights, they can go south really quickly. Uh, it definitely is not a great game to be an AD carry. They're both immobile
No,
against
definitely
some
not.
very lethal people. Although MF should be okay if Tom Kench is on top of just eating her constantly.
And we'll see if we can if they can avoid the mishap of misfortune. Alt Tom Kenshi turn cancels it.
Yeah, that would be bad if he
The
ruined that
worst feeling.
situation. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I really think this is going to be dependent on how lanes go, and if one team snowballs, they could. These are very volatile teams.
yeah, I think both will. If Kane and Oriana get ahead, I think that team snowballs the game down. If Riven, Misfortune get ahead, I think that team will run it out of control. What do you think about the Ashe taking instead of Fleet of Foot taking press the attack?
Um, I think it's kind of a preference thing. I think personally, I like the press the attack better for the damage,
Hmm.
especially since you're constantly slowing the enemy team. You don't always need that speed buff on yourself. The healing is
True.
nice for laning, but Yeah, it'll be especially with she's got a Sona in lane, so she's gonna have some nice sustain from her support laning wise. So I think press the attack is the right decision here.
Okay. I think so. Well, as we're looking at it, we have uh, Lee Sin is going to have a little bit of damage at the beginning with those electrocute. We're going to be looking at a Kayn who's looking to snowball with Dark Harvest, and as we load in a game, we'll see who starts the snowball, who will take it all.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm wondering if we'll see a invade early game. No one really has hard CC early game on either team.
No, level ones aren't great for really anyone. Most the team has really is either Ash Slow or Tom Kench Tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll just be about who face checks who.
Looks like Vic was late to joining the party.
Good that he got in though.
I see Miss Fortune smell the invade right away.
Yeah, she put her E out. She saw them, but Red is looking for a little bit more of a counter invade. But I think since they saw them place a ward, I don't know if Blue Team will really go in here because they know that they're spotted. They are gonna go over to the blue buff. It looks like Red Team knows that. Lots of wards coming out, but looks like no one wants to fight.
So this will be Riven going back to top lane. Everyone else retreating to their normal positions.
Yeah, as much as we like a good scrap on the Lola community games, I think I don't fault anyone because I think it was no one has a good amount like CC ability to throw out there to try to get someone out. It was just kind of walking into each other, and no one really wants to do that.
Yeah. Maybe they saw the Lola plays montage that was put out today, and where the invade went horribly wrong.
Yeah, we saw I think it was from Aiden's perspective. He was playing Blitzcrank, and they did an invade, and the other team was ready for it. Yeah, it did not go well.
Absolutely. What was it? What? 2-3 for 0? Something like that? Lots of flashes.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was real bad. That's one way to start a game.
Even trades going on top lane.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how this top lane goes because I feel like it's really a skill matchup in favor of Trundle. Because it's all about when you take the fights as Riven, what cooldowns Trundle has, and how he's using them on the minions. Because Trundle really, it's not like you're trying to hit skill shots, it's just like, did you use them on Trundle or not?
Yeah, so we'll see the Sona damage coming out a little early. Orianna in the mid lane getting chunked. Her pots, she's down to one pot. She had to use one already. Xerath's hitting his skill shots pretty well.
Yeah, he is putting out a lot of poke damage right now. That's exactly how he wins that lane.
We have an invade in the top lane, or in the top side of the jungle, but it looks like nothing will come out of it. A little chase down by Orianna, but Lee Sin will get away just fine. Trundle's kind of in a bad spot up here now.
Yeah, I was hoping it would. Directed camera is liking bottom lane. Didn't show what was going on out there, and I don't want to mess around too much with that. Did Lee Sin end up getting the buff or anything, or did he just...
Nah, nothing happened. They got their... Kayn got his buff. Lee Sin escaped. Nothing too much. See, Xerath hitting more of his shots. Really chunking Orianna out.
Yeah, really hardcore here, and he's got a big wave building up. Trundle taking a lot of minion damage. Riven with the
he's
flash.
Gonna get her.
Ooh, goes under the turret. Oh,
First blood with a nice flash from Trundle.
Yeah, good flash and pillar to get out. I think what happened there to Riven, you saw her randomly jump backwards. I think her mouse was over top one of the minions, so her last Q ended up targeting the minion instead of jumping backwards away from the turret. So, a little bit of a misplay there to get One Tooth. He was a little over greedy for that kill, but he came really close to taking down Trundle.
Unfortunate for him, but he will have Hex Flash coming back to the lane. He will not use his teleport, which is smart. Lane is not pushed to him.
Yep.
We'll see just more trading and farming going on bot lane.
Yeah, MF is doing a good job of getting her poke out, but with Sona heals and some range from him. Oh, gank going on in mid lane. Kayn taking a lot of damage. Flash out from Xerath, and we go to the back to the mid lane. Oh, Xerath barely lived there. Almost died to the red buff. It did lose his flash there.
Good gank by Kayn, getting summoner spells out. He'll look to revisit there in the next 5 minutes.
Definitely.
Hopefully capitalize off that. See Kayn now down towards the bottom lane. As that gank also gives Orianna a little bit of pressure back into the lane since she was getting chunked out pretty hard up until that point.
Has your spectator mode been freezing up at all?
Not for me, no.
Huh. My spectator has frozen a couple times. It's really weird. I think I'm actually a little bit behind. Yeah, I am.
What time are you at?
I'm at 5:39, 5:40, 5:40.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay, yeah, so I was actually a little bit behind before I switched to that.
Okay.
It's weird that it kept freezing up. It's really odd.
A good trade there by Riven. Get Trundle down to about a third of his health. He'll just pot back up. Both ADCs now pretty low on mana in the lane. So, big chunk taken there by Vic.
Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Sorry, JD, if you're still in the stream, I will be getting the game pack capture up in a second. I am done. I did not have... Oh my gosh.
Trundle will ult here on Riven. And one more chomp and that's it. It's 2-0 Trundle. Very scary at this point in the game, 7 minutes in. Exhaust is going to be used here by Sona as Kayn escapes the wall. He will be eaten up by Tahm Kench. And he will be going down, and that will be the first kill for the blue team, going over to Lee Sin on a nice play from Tahm Kench.
Yeah, good job to pull the Lee Sin back, or the Kayn back over to his team. MF is very low, they'll have to be careful, but they have low mana on the other team, so I don't think they'll capitalize.
I think both ADCs right now are just looking to back and buy a little bit. They both have enough for at least a BF sword, if not more. Some fancy feet going on here by Orianna, and she will escape the gank.
Great dodges. Q might be coming back up. No, it doesn't come up in time for Lee Sin. Really nice dodges by the Orianna there. If she got hit by those Xerathals, I'm pretty sure she was dead there.
This is not a fight One Tooth wants to take anymore.
No.
Trundle, even on low mana, can run her down.
Yeah. Yeah, with Trundle's 1v1 potential and his ultimate, it's very hard to ever fight him. You're not gonna win a sustained fight against a Trundle.
So you see here, Kane's looking at big gank bottom lane again. We look across the map. CS is pretty even all around except for the ADCs. There's a heal used there by Misfortune, and they will get out safe from the Kayn gank. I don't know how much that was needed, but
Yeah, sometimes.
Regardless, they get out.
Yeah, sometimes better safe than sorry, but I think she could have held on to her heel there. Kane was very far off. That is a very large wall to have to run through as
Oh
Kane. So
yeah.
as soon as you see that mark of the shadow coming from that way, it actually was quite a while till he was going to be able to be on them. And you have the Tom Kench W in case they really do get onto you.
Yeah. So we'll see Miss Fortune's working her way towards an Essence Reaver. This can be Lee Sin. He's going to come down and pick up a nice easy kill. Going to look for 2, but instead peel off because he's getting bombarded by minions. And Trundle will take care of his top lane, where he gets free farm.
Yeah, nice little grab by Lee Sin there. Good of him to notice that the Sona overstayed on the top of the lane there. Especially against a champion like Lee Sin, you really have to be careful about how long you're staying in a lane when you don't have wards. He can, like right there, he just ward hopped over and was right on top of her. She didn't really have much of a chance to get away.
Does a nice little drive-by, and he gets out without taking a hit.
Got an invade coming from red team. Trundle's strong, so they're feeling confident to invade. Lee Sin's
This is
going
not
in.
a good place for Lee Sin to be. He'll get chomped on the kickback.
Might be
Good Orianna ult, and Trundle will flash and chase.
Might be able to get out of this with cooldowns. A nice flash by Riven to get over the wall, but she's just going to get chased down. Has Blasting Plant to go over.
Looks like she will get out for now. Kane goes through the wall, and he looked to pick up his first kill.
Riven just getting the CS she can before she goes down.
It'll be a Trundle chomp, and that is a 3-0 going Triforce Trundle, it looks like.
Yeah, that is going to be a very scary Trundle to fight because he will steal resistance with his ult, but then he will still be doing decent damage because of the items he is building. They're getting that turret really low, but they did not have them. Actually, I think One Tooth might have saved his turret with the amount of minions he took. Unless they push down before he can get back to lane.
I think that they may be able to take it. That's a Sheen on a Trundle who is allowed to bite the turrets again.
Yep,
and
that's first turret.
He is going to be a scary split pusher.
That's for sure.
One thing that he really missed pretty much all last season, I believe, when they took away his ability to bite the turrets. Really hurt his gameplay.
Yeah, it definitely took away some of his split pushing ability. And I think now, because of his ultimate and how much damage he can do, he's going to be really hard to even gank as Lee Sin.
Lee Sin is focusing.
A nice kick by Lee, but the invulnerability from Kane, he gets out. Going for the
Xerath will miss his ults, but Trundle will walk away from this one a little hurt, but he'll be fine.
Yep.
And he will back now as he has around 2,000 gold under his belt, as well as Kane.
Yeah, just nice movement by Trundle around the map now. Not only does he have his turret and he's strong, you gotta take that chance to go to other lanes and help them out. A little bit ult behind by the Tom Kench though. Ashe is able to flash ult. She misses the ult though, but they get the heal and they both get out alive.
Yeah, I think when Tom Kench disappears like that, and you have an MF who's disrespecting playing up a little too far for a Sona Ashe lane, I think it's a perfect time for a Sona ult or Ashe ult into Sona ult or one of those things. It's a free kill. Yeah. But Tom Kench pops in, they have to waste the heal.
Yeah, I think even there, if they would have, while Tom Kench was ulting in behind them, turned on the MF while he took the time to come in, they could have even maybe bursted her out and turned that trade before it even happened as a 1v2.
Yeah, I think MF was positioned a little too far up in that situation, and she would have been caught by both of them. It's a nasty combo to be caught by any champion, though.
Yeah, I think especially we've seen like in the spot lane, they just used both their ults defensively. They had them up before. Don't be afraid to use your ultimates, especially MF did have her summoners up, but if you ended up blowing her summoners off those ultimates, then your ults will be up before their summoners. So don't be afraid
Hmm.
to use your ultimates and be aggressive. So otherwise they'll just stay on cooldown and not be used.
So we see Trundle will pick up. Um, he will, looks like to be going for the Ravenous Hydra. He will pick up some Ninja Tabby to help him in lane,
Well, he's just
and pretty much for the rest of the game, he's just gonna run
one more
Zareth down
Q.
through a couple turrets.
Yeah, that's a scary ass Trundle with his pillar slowing you down, just constantly berating you. There's nowhere to go. Tom Kench in a little bit of a bad situation, but they don't go on it. Alt air.
Looks like MF was caught by an Ash Arrow, and she'll have to flash out of that and heal. So both summoners off of the blue team ADC, but she is also very far ahead in CS.
Yep. Yeah, that 50 CS means a lot at this time in the game.
We see that the gold is still relatively the same, and at this point it's because mid and the ADC have a CS advantage over their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the unlucky laning phase that has happened for Riven, still managed to keep up in CS pretty well.
Yeah, it's really important, something to think about, that Riven is doing a good job of, even though she's lost lane now, she's stayed back and she's farming up. She's going to get to some items that she needs faster than if she kept trying to fight and make plays when she's behind. And I think this is a big thing that people don't think about. Like right now, it's only a total team goal difference of 1,000 when it's 6-2. I think a lot of people would be really discouraged in game right now, as the team at only 2 kills.
Mm.
But and it's even a first turret too on top of that. So I think a lot of people think they're a lot farther behind than they are. So don't be discouraged early game when you get behind.
You have to look at with the Riven CS as well. She's fighting a Trundle right now, and obviously it's not going the way she wants. But with the CS, with her keeping up in CS, and with her still being able to get her items off of that, she's still gonna be a problem to the squishies of the red team come team fighting time. So you can't count out the Riven just because of her KDA.
Yep. Either way, Ashe is not going to be building tank stats, so she will be just as squishy throughout the game.
Absolutely. And right now is the perfect time. There's no other champion in lane. This is a perfect time to go aggressive on the Misfortune. Use the double stun, punish her for being in lane alone, force Tom Kench to come back.
Yeah, we have seen Sona walking up a couple times when MF has pushed too far up, but Lee Sin's coming down to help. But I'd like to see the Ashe hit a little bit, like mid-range ult to help out. But do have Tom Kench ulting into lane to push them off. Probably could have had the Tom Kench ult the Lee Sin in to really pressure them, but
Yeah, a
either
little
way.
miscommunication there, and the red team seeing the Lee Sin on the ward and the tri-brush and helped a little bit with them backing off. I think they were trying to set up for a pick play where Tom Kench would hop in behind them, but unfortunately they were spotted out, and they will continue farming down bottom.
Yep.
Misfortune still holding on to her 50 CS lead. So we do see a Shadow Cane here coming in from Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he will be building Duskblade next.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with this. You have every single champion pretty much on the enemy team besides Tom Kench is going to be susceptible to a Kane burst. Even the Riven, and she's behind too, so she's going to have a harder time getting to a point where she's hard to kill as well. So I definitely think Shadow Kane is the right choice on this game.
So the red team going to take Rift, as they pretty much can do whatever they want at this point near the top lane with the Trundle standing there. And this will be an easy pickup for Kane. And they look to move to the mid lane.
Yeah, I definitely think you want to use that on mid lane. Xerath is just going to keep clearing minions if you don't deal with that mid lane, and opening up the mid lane just opens up so much of the map for a team. I think that's definitely what they need to do.
And luckily Xerath hits that
W slow, but Kayn getting the slow off does get stunned though. Xerath with a nice escape there to get out.
good defense, because those are two scary champions running at you.
Yeah, with Trundle being so strong and a Shadow Kayn, they will... you're not going to last long if they get on top of you as Xerath. Some good damage coming out though. Nice stun by Xerath. Actually forces out the ultimate.
A heal forced off by Miss Fortune there, I believe. Yes.
Yep. That
by Shadow Kayn.
Yeah, I think she was a little worried she was going to get caught there. I think with the team there and having Tahm Kench, I think you want to hold that heal. I think you were okay, but looks like blue team, I like that even though they are behind, they're being proactive. They group up and they look to take a dragon to try to get themselves maybe a little bit. I think if red team were to react here, they would have a good time fighting, but blue team just being more decisive, so I like the call there.
We'll see. Red team tries to take the turret, but have no success. Good ult there by Miss Fortune, gets two.
Nice
but
flash
this will
kick by Lee Sin. Oh, and the Xerath
this
ult
will be
takes
Shadow
him out.
King coming out. Ooh, misses the auto attack, but he will still grab him on the Q. But he will go down, and it will be 2-for-1 for the blue team. A good fight there by the blue team.
Yeah, great fight of the blue team. Really nice flash kick by Lee Sin to get the Trundle into the tower and force his flash. A fight going down, and Ashe uses her ult. MF is... Oh, they
1 for 1.
1 for 1 in the 1v1. Couldn't get any closer than that. Blue team will actually get the red team turret in mid first, and really good job by them. Again, they actually end up taking a gold lead here with the amount of CS their laners have and the turret they have. Little hex flash over their wall there, but they have they've done a good job of closing the gold lead and actually leading in gold now.
Yeah, the CS differential is just getting worse and worse in the bottom lane. Though that was good for Ashe and catching up. She's still able to battle the Miss Fortune, being down still around 50 CS, and actually trading her flash as well.
Yeah,
this is going to be Sona going down, just caught out of position. Uses the ult, but looks like she'll actually escape. This will not be Xerath escaping though, as Kayn will take him down. And Shadow Kayn is ramping up, which is not good news.
Yeah, Shadow Kayn getting the items he needs, doing a ton of damage. I'd really like to see him use the Rift Herald somewhere now that they have Xerath down. He doesn't have that wave clear. Mid lane is wide open right now, and he does use it in mid lane. So that should be a turret. And Trundle just ignoring the Riven right here. I don't think you want to do that, but he does have his ultimate and Pillar to just run away. So I guess he traded some of his health and an ultimate to take a ton of damage off that turret. So I think that's actually, can't really blame that.
So he'll get 1 turret, 1.5 turrets for the Rift Herald. Be Force Flash, and here comes Shadow Kayn. Not doing quite the one-shot potential yet, but chunking Miss Fortune almost all the way out. She will open up though back on him, and that will be Kayn going down.
Yeah, right there you saw that, how Tahm Kench can really help out your team. Even though the damage still goes on to MF after the Kayn ult, it still kept her in a good place by Tahm Kench flashing away from the Kayn so she could really exit there and put Kayn in a really bad position in the enemy team.
Riven's doing a good job here of keeping Trundle in the top lane, making sure he doesn't team fight by, she beats him down when he's under a turret, and then she pushes the wave all the way to his, so yeah, he's forced to come back top. Leaves the rest of his team susceptible, as he's the one that really has the big lead in this on this team.
Yeah, if we actually wanted to nitpick like every little last decision to get the most out of it, I think you would want to swap your lanes as the red team. Your Trundle is really strong, and wherever he goes, he kind of gets to dictate that. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
get dictated by the Riven. So if you put him in bot lane and either two people or Riven has to switch, you're probably going to end up getting that bot lane turret at some point. And that could really allow Ashe to just kind of free farm in top lane, since there's no top lane turret for the blue team for a team to stay out farther.
And even if it forces Riven to come bottom lane, Trundle can really run down that turret even with Riven being there, and you get a turret trade.
Yep. So red team here sending Trundle mid. Actually, he might actually be able to get that mid turret since it was damaged from the Rift Herald. But Orianna has no flash. She's caught out here. She does go down.
In a world of trouble. This is going to be Sona going down to the Xerath ult. Kayn will come out to Xerath, and that will be one dead Xerath to the Shadow Kayn. And but Miss Fortune will take him down.
Ooh, a nice view from Lee Sin.
And it actually looks like during all of this, Trundle picks up the mid lane turret. So in the end, Trundle getting something for his team in that fight, even though they did lose it, I believe 4-1.
Yeah, this is kind of what blue team I think they're gonna have to do, is give up some like objective and some map to Trundle while they kind of team fight on different sides of the map, because it looks like blue team is still able to. They've been winning team fights and winning skirmishes, while Trundle, there's so many kills on him. He's got a lot of his team's gold, and he also has the most CS on his team. So
yeah,
blue team definitely should be either focusing him if he's in the way, or just straight up avoiding him around the map if they can to fight the rest of the team.
And the other thing is the red team keeps picking fights in the jungle, and that's not what you want to do versus an MF Xerath.
Yes,
just makes their lives way too easy.
Did see Kayn do a good job of getting onto the back line, picking off Xerath during that last fight, but when it was a 4v5, it just didn't end up mattering much.
Yeah,
he got picked off.
He's still working towards his second lethality item. This will be a flash for both of them, but it will be Kayn going. Oh no, he's going to ult out of it, but I do believe he'll still be going down.
Yeah, kick from Lee Sin to push him off. Still got a ton of damage though, and here's Ashe roaming up too. So they're gonna both get caught up.
A 2-for-1, which red team should take at this point, keeping the gold fairly similar. Should have just went and taken that turret, but they're gonna try and go for the dragon without their jungler. I guess neither team has their jungler, so it's going to be up in the air who gets this one, who can burst it the best.
MF does have her ultimate, so that could be very scary if she uses it. It's really low.
Oh, Ashe will get it.
Oh, the flash ult by MF to try to get in range. But yeah, that was I definitely would have liked to see red team probably push the turret down besides the dragon, especially when the dragon turns into a kind of roll the dice when you have two teams there, but they actually just roam down and get it anyways, so I guess I need to put my foot in my mouth.
They end up getting both, so I guess it works for them. So we'll see. Actually, I take it back. MF went to more of a crit build as she built an Infinity Edge and Rapid Fire Cannon. And we'll see kind of a similar build coming out of Ashe, so 2 crit champions in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think I definitely... I'm not sure because I don't play enough MF if the crit build or the lethality build is better. But against a team like this where there's not too much straight tank, I feel like the crit build will be doing a whole lot of damage.
Good couple dodges there by Trundle, but he won't avoid all 5, and that will be a 5-on-1 takedown. But on the other side of the map, the red team is charging down mid lane. Yeah. The Ashe will fly by, but it will miss. But I don't really think it matters. They get the turret, and they're going to be able to get the inhib.
Yeah, red team taking the better side of that trade. It sucks that Trundle went down and they lost the turret, but they should be able to get the inhib here, and that's definitely going to take that over a tier 1 and tier 2 turret.
They will lose Kayn to a couple ultimates from Riven and Xerath, and nice this will be Sona going down, and Ashe will go down in a matter of cooldowns.
There's the dead man's proc, and she's gone. So now blue team, even though red team took some stuff, they really need to take a good objective off this. You have Baron buff up. You have minions pushing in. I really think blue team should be looking for Baron here, but One Tooth went bottom to go for a turret, and
Ooh,
MF getting
that
canceled. Wow.
nice pillar there by Trundle, and that'll be MF going down. Tom Kench picking a fight I don't think he really wants. He's going to end up backing off on this one.
That was an amazing pillar by Trundle there.
And this will be Kayn going in, and that is one dead Riven, I believe. Oh, nope, she's going to
She gets her shield up and gets out with the Qs
flip away.
and her Youmuu's giving her speed. But Kayn does have his E up, I believe. Yep, he's going to get the speed from that. Riven does have cooldowns up, though. She has her ult, goes for the... Oh, so close.
Very close.
Really nice try by One Tooth there. But those are the plays that, you know, a 4-0 Riven would make compared to a 2-4 because of the damage-wise. So this is what we were talking about with, like, two different teams snowballing. If this was a snowballing Riven, she would really be causing a havoc with the split pushing. But Kayn able to take her down.
Now, we really haven't gotten to see very much team fighting in this game. It's kind of been a pick everywhere. But one thing I'd really like to see from the red team to do would be try to force a team fight and see if they can get a couple man Sona ult. But while they're at it, put the Orianna ball on Kayn and try to get a nice ultimate off of Kayn going in from the side, like flanking the blue team. It's a nice little wombo combo that all really, I guess, assassins have with Kayn is flanking from the side and getting a nice Orianna ult when they actually go in.
Yeah, I really think that this is a really close game still gold-wise. You know, 2,000 gold, or around 3,000 gold, is split up between the entire team, gold-wise. Depending on what CC hits in a team fight, it really could go either way. And I think with the amount of AoE that red team has, they definitely want to be looking for a team fight.
Yeah, they just need to stay out of the jungle, as we talked about earlier, because it costs you when you face a misfortune as strong as this one is.
Yeah, and I think the other big thing is Lee Sin. Being in a jungle gives Lee Sin a lot more option for flanking you and going around the corners and actually getting caught out. Oh, nice
good
Orianna
night.
ult. Wow.
And that's going to be a 2-for-0, maybe looking to have a 3-for-0 here, and it will be with Kayn. Just surviving? Yes.
Barely surviving there. Yep.
And I think they're trying to look towards Baron, but they don't have the health, so they're just going to take the turret.
Really nice death bush by red team there. Good ult by Orianna, and they get 2 turrets out of it. They had Trundle split pushing at the same time, and Trundle can actually do some more damage here. They've still got cooldown on 3 of their members that are down, so red team is still putting the pressure on. Trundle is just lapping away at an inhib turret right now. Look at how fast that thing goes.
Triforce Ravenous Hydra Trundle, and you don't have turrets when that thing runs up to him.
Yeah, that's for sure. And now, actually, they're starting up the Baron. Really good call, I think. Blue team is stuck in their base in a TP.
Great rotations here. Yeah. It's going to be Riven coming in, I believe.
Yeah, Riven does TP in, but she's going to be too late. And she's going to rethink that. She might even get caught out here if Kayn...
She misses her ult on Kayn,
has the stopwatch as well, so he doesn't go down. And there's the exhaust out, and she trades her life trying to make a hero play there.
Now red team's just going to run over and pick up the Infernal Drake, or try to, as Misfortune is hanging around in the area. They will see a low health Kayn, so if they can get on that before they burn the dragon down, but looks like MF's going to just walk up and try an ult here, and she will. The smite will come through, though.
Good smite by Kayn. Always take your time when smiting against ultimates like that just do their damage over time. If you rush it, that's when you end up smiting it down to like 30 health and one of the ticks take it.
And here, from bad to worse, here comes the GAs for the red team. As the first one is picked up here by Kayn, and it looks like Trundle will be looking to pick one up next.
Yeah, that's really scary if you're having a Kane jump into your back line, like really chunk someone, and then when you finally take him down, he's just in his GA. Like, that's a lot of focus on him to have him just come back again right after.
Yeah.
And if you're waiting
Um,
around for too long, an Ash ult or a Sona ult can really catch you out right after it.
so we'll see Ash pick up a LDR, um, beat away some of the armor that is on the blue team, as Zanyas has been picked up in a couple deadmans. This is a dead Zareth, I believe, though.
Yep.
He will Zanya's, but
It's only a matter
won't
of
matter.
time. Yep. Gets caught out. Zareth, you have to be so careful. He's so immobile, and Kane, I don't think he even had to flash when he did to get back on top of to him. He got the slow off with his W. There's not much you can do. Almost one-shots the MF. Does get the Tom Kench ult, though. And
At least I'm trying to be down bottom lane trying to dance with Trundle, but
that's
I
not
don't think
going to
he's
do
going to win
anything.
that one.
No, he is not. He honestly can't do anything with Trundle. Trundle's just going to take that in him, no problem. And right
He needs
after,
help, boys.
yeah, he's just going to go after Lee Sin now and keep pushing. Kane actually coming down to help as well, so they're just putting pressure on all sides of the blue team. When you have this big of a top laner, it's really hard to control the map.
He's just going to whap that inhib right down. Top turret's down, and Trundle's got his eyes set on a new target.
When you have a tank that also does good damage with this much damage, like, he can just sit in the front line. Oh, MF,
yeah.
Ash going down to the Zareth ult. Really good shots from Zareth to take someone down. And now the engage, oh, doesn't quite get him.
But Kane is coming back. Tom Kench will pick him out. Kane will ult into him. This will be his GA going down. But here comes Trundle. He will take Tom Kench down first. Orianna ult misses. MF needs some speed boosts here. That will be her GA. Oh, nope. GA will just stay on, and this will be Trundle actually going down. Orianna will pick up only her second kill of the game, but we will get back to her. And it will look like at the end of it all, it will be a 2-for-2. But blue team loses all of their inhibs, so now here comes a big defense. Another thing we wanted to talk about was Orianna. She really, from the beginning of the game, the early part of her game, she was really just getting poked down by Zareth all through the lane, and really wasn't able to do much without Kane coming in to give a couple ganks. And she did a very good job of not losing her lane by any more than really CS.
Right, yeah. When she was getting that poked out, she could have really ended up dying a couple times and losing that hard.
A couple nice jukes of the Zareth ult, and she only got one death in this game, and she lost gracefully and is really able to help her team now. Even with only 2 kills and 10 assists, she can release a pretty big shockwave, and if she hits that, then the game's over because Trundle's just going to run all of them down the shockwave, taking pretty much half the team's health away.
Yeah, that's the thing. On someone like Orianna, your ult is so pivotal that as long as you don't majorly lose and get really far behind, you're always going to be useful later into the game. So doing the good job of keeping decent CS and not giving away a ton of kills, even though she didn't win lane by any means, she did not lose either. She definitely kept herself in this game very well.
And here comes the double super minion push by a very strong GA Trundle, who now has magic resist.
He is going to be very hard to take down especially when he's ulting. He is going to be gaining health back, more resistances, and he's life stealing from his Ravenous. He is a big boy.
They'll be sending 4 on him, but he'll just walk away from it like nothing happened.
Yeah, red team really need an engage here, but it's going to be hard with their team comp to get a straight engage.
Actually doing a very good job of being patient. They know they have the double super minions coming in. As long as they pressure it, the minions should be able to take the game over. As long as they're Orianna's poking and Ash is throwing out W's, and Eventually, they'll make a mistake, and you'll have a Sona ult to catch them.
Yep. Yeah, I think you need to see Orianna or Sona ult first, which hits multiple people. There's the Orianna ult on Riven, but doesn't do a whole lot. Just a lot of poking going on back and forth, but you have to remember, if they don't come down enough, red team isn't at base.
Here they go.
Oh, here comes the
Trundle's just gonna chomp the turret. Yeah. It's a good ult by Ashe. Will stun one and slow the other, and this will be game right here. Is they will just clean up. So this will be Xerath going down. This will be MF going down. Oh, Xerath actually stays alive, but that will be victory for the red team.
GG.
So not the game we thought was gonna happen, but the Trundle really takes over in this game and really shows that tanks can carry too.
Yeah, Trundle really took over. His split pushing was really hard to deal with. Then red team was moving as a unit, kind of catching people out with the Orianna ult, and Kayn himself just chasing people down with his speed through the jungle, like running through the walls. So I think here, Orianna and Ashe kind of show what happens what you do when you get behind. You work with your team and you don't try to overplay things. If Orianna and Ashe had tried to say, "Oh, we're behind, we need to start like making plays," they might have ended up dying more and make it harder for their team. Because they just sat back and did their job as carries in the team fights, it ended up like being a very easy game for the red team to take down.
Yeah. Realizing the tools they had, Orianna knows that she still has her ult, and Ashe still has her arrow, so they will be useful at any point in the game.
Yep. So GG to all. I think I definitely give the MVP to the Trundle that game.
Oh, 100% to the Trundle, player of the game.
Yep, he did a really good job. He got ahead early, and then he was just a menace around the map the rest of the game.
All right, so GG's.
GG, let's move back to the homeroom, seeing how things are going.
Oh my god.
No!
What did